Welcome to the Windy City Podcast. You see that man right there, Alex Shapiro. I am Kenneth Davis, and this is presented by Fansided. It's almost time, y'all. We've been waiting for this. Times like this, right? Bears, Rams, Lakefront. Sean McVay, we kind of let you get away with one some years back. Coming back for that, you know what? You know, Bill Belichick took our form, the Vic Fangio formula, all right, to beat the Rams. He did. Right? Stole from us. Now we shall steal back. No. Anyway, Bears versus the Las Vegas and the Los Angeles Rams, all right? The evening game, 5:30 game, I believe, Alex?
Yeah, they're the late game. Prime time, baby. Mike Tirico, NBC.
You knew you were getting that because it's Bears, period. But also you throw the Rams on there. Like, what's going to get more eyes? Listen, you have one of the better teams. You look at where Matt Stafford was a couple years ago with the back injury. You look at the fact that the contract negotiations that he had to go through, wanted more money, kind of a chance to perhaps go to the Giants in the offseason, ended up staying, and look what happened. Do you want to go to the Giants? You want an opportunity to win the Super Bowl, one of the smartest young head coaches who still isn't 40. As long as Sean McVay has been in the NFL, he still is not 40 years old, right?
Crazy.
All right. Revamp defense after the greatest defensive tackle of all time retires. Like, I think I can say he's the greatest. And I've seen some good ones here in the NFC Central when John Randall was Randalling, and then Warren Sapp left to go to the South when they split up the divisions, just to name a few. And a blip of Tommy Harris, who, when he was healthy, was extraordinary, but he didn't have the career that the two gentlemen that I said prior had. But Aaron Donald, looky Lord, wow, for his sustainability for all those years in DT, ridiculous. But to the present, listen, Jared Verse, you know what that defense looks like. That offense, you got two of the best receivers in the NFL, and Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams, who we know here in the NFC North when he was one of the Packers' best wide receiver. You have Kyron Williams, an outstanding young running back, and you have one of the most talented arm talents to ever reside within the NFL in Matthew Stafford, one of the craftiest savants in the NFL. This is something to overcome. And I know the last game versus Carolina, look at the last game. That happens to us. That happens to anybody. Matchups too. And Carolina has been better. We kind of look at them as the Carolina they've been the years prior to this. They were a better team this year, right?
1,000%. 1,000%.
1,000%. And now it's time for the Bears to show and prove against a really good offense. This offense isn't going to leave many points on the board when it comes to empty drives if you give them the chance. But Alex, your opening thoughts on this playoff game, this divisional playoff game with the Los Angeles Rams coming to Chicago to face the beloved Bears.
Things are leveling up. So let me first say, I truly believe the Bears can beat any team in the NFC. What they've got going, they got something special. The head coach is special. The belief in that room is special. The ability to adjust and adapt on defense is special, right? For all of the shortcomings that the defense has had, Dennis Allen and the players have risen to the occasion when they've needed to rise to the occasion. Caleb Williams, with the game on the line, has been special. These are requisite things to make noise in the playoffs. So I do think that the Bears can go toe-to-toe with these teams. But as you go through the playoffs, round by round, obviously things level up. And I want to dig a little bit deeper. Like, we can tell you, Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams are great. Matthew Stafford is great. Byron Young and
like I just did.
Exactly. But let's dig in a little deeper. Matthew Stafford, who could be the MVP, probably will be the MVP.
Probably will be.
4,700 passing yards this year, led the NFL. 46 passing touchdowns this year, led the NFL. So you have, from a numbers standpoint, the best there was in the biz. But you also have a guy who, as you said, is a vet. What has Dennis Allen been able to do? He's been able to disguise coverages. He's been able to bring pressure from different areas. He really ramped that up against Jordan Love and the Packers in the second half. And for some reason, the Packers just kept pushing the ball downfield. And that pressure, I think, affected Jordan Love. That's not going to affect Matt Stafford in the same way. It's a lot harder to confuse Matt Stafford, who's seen everything. It's a lot harder to heat up Matt Stafford than it is to heat up Jordan Love. Let's talk about Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams. Puka Nacua, 129 catches this year, led the NFL.
That's crazy.
1,715 receiving yards this year. Second in the NFL. Devontae Adams, who missed the last 3 games of the season and did not look 100% last week. Missed the last 3 games of the season, led the NFL with 14 touchdowns. Playing 14 games. 14 games, 14 touchdowns. Another week, if he gets another week of rest under his belt, he shook off the rust last week. You cannot take for granted that Devontae Adams is not going to be 100%. Bears fans know all too well what Devontae Adams can do. One of the best route runners in the NFL. With him and Puka Nacua, outrageous. How about 4 tight ends? 4 tight ends with 200 or more receiving yards. 4 tight ends with 200 or more receiving yards. I mean, you're talking about spreading the ball around. And then the running game, right? You mentioned Kyron Williams, 4.8 yards per carry this year. That was tied for 10th in the NFL. Blake Corum, though, 5.1 yards per carry this year, tied for 4th in the NFL. So you have 2, in terms of yards per carry, 2 top 10 running backs.
Right.
This offense is no joke. So the Bears are going to have to come correct. They're going to have to clean a lot of stuff up. Dennis Allen is going to have to really be in his bag with the play calling. I have one bit of good news for the Bears, though. One thing that I think can help. We know about the injury to TJ Edwards last week. He's going to be done for the rest of the year. DeMarco Jackson comes in and honestly has been a godsend for this team all year when called upon. And one thing I think that will help the Bears, and I think this really showed up when I was rewatching last week's game, this dude is fast. This dude is really, really fast, which is maybe exactly what the Bears need in this moment. Just a really, really fast linebacker. And he triggers quickly. He plays instinctually, triggers quickly, gets to the ball quickly. I think that's going to help their run defense, which has been kind of banged up. It can also be a bit of a detriment. Because when he triggers so fast, he can kind of over pursue or misdirection plays, counter plays, can beat some of that really aggressive triggering. But I think that's a guy to really, really watch here with the huge, huge defensive challenge ahead. I think it's going to be really interesting to see how DeMarco Jackson, put in this position out of need, now does as a super speedy linebacker. But Kenneth, I'm going to kick it back to you. I mean, what do you do? What do you do with this enormous challenge that the Rams pose on offense?
Try to keep their offense off the field with run possession. I mean, that one thing, just going over some stats, they're like the top 15 when it comes to rush yards allowed, right? So that means they can't be run on. They're not top 10. They're like hovering around 12. They can be run on, but you really there's one thing, and that's time of possession. And that's also be what the Bears have been, really bendy and don't breaky. As far as from 20 to 20, I let you do what you want to do, get you to that. When we get in the red zone, I stop you, I stifle you. I mean, if you can do that, this game is had. If you can sit there and have them kick more field goals and get there can be turnovers too. You know what I'm saying? Like there can be turnovers with Matthew Stafford. But if you can do what you've been doing, it's just shut them down occasionally. Like you think about last week's game, the first half, the Packers did whatever the hell they felt like doing. They just kicked open the door to the house and just rubbed their filthy feet all over our couches, right? Just nasty style. In the fridge, right? And didn't even wash their hands after coming from the outside and just all over German everything up. And at halftime, Dennis Allen was like, get the hell out of my house, basically. And you're going to need that. I mean, I know it sounds simple, but this is a different team. This team offensively overall is better than the Packers. Like they are. You have a better quarterback. Running backs, I could say as good or whatever. You may prefer Kyron Williams. You got to remember, Vegas let Josh Jacobs go. Josh Jacobs has been better with the Packers. Receivers, though, like receiving core, perhaps, but you throwing those tight ends to kind of balance it out. Receiving core could be the pack, but it's not even close with they have 2 elite receivers. You know what I'm saying? Like 2 elite receivers with a deadly quarterback, anything can happen at any time. You saw the pass to the tight end Kobe on the sideline. We talked about it the last show. Just the type of arm angling that Matthew Stafford, and we all know here from when he was in Detroit. All right, like the dude, arm talent wise, is unparalleled almost in the history of the NFL. He's in that rare era of the top 10 to 15 guys where it's like I can spin it and I got arm strength. You know what I'm saying? Like he's up there, and different arm slots to go along with it. But they can be had. One thing that you said, and we've said this for weeks. Excuse me. The Bears can beat anybody. That's not us being Bears meatballs. That's just the fact of look at your television screen. Damn, they beat the 49ers, right? Their only team that's really had their number this year for the most part has been Detroit. And guess what? Detroit ain't here. All right? Like, that's the only team that had the Bears hasn't been able to one up, basically. So, I mean, of course they have losses, but you get what I mean. Teams that are in the playoffs. So it's time of possession. And I mean, think about the Bears really had been successful running the ball. And they've been situational successful, but the last couple of weeks they haven't been. It's a chance to get back to the bread and butter and pound the living hell out of that Rams team. The defense has some guys on it, but isn't as good as it was last season. But yeah, you got to beat the hell out of them and keep just one thing the Bears got to get back to is the Philadelphia game, and it's the physicality. And I'll lead it back to you on this. No, I'll wait to talk defense, but they got to get that offensive line. And so let me ask you this.
Yes.
Theo Benedict or you dust off old
Braxton Jones? So it's really interesting you say that. I think you have to go Theo. I'm not even sure. Have they opened up the window for Braxton Jones? And I feel bad that I don't know that off the top of my head.
It's bad on both of us because I mentioned it.
No, it's okay. You mentioned the physicality, right? And as soon as you said physicality, before you even posed this question, you said physicality, and I thought, well, it's kind of interesting that Theo Benedict is probably in line to start this week. Because what do we know about Theo Benedict from his stretch as the starting left tackle earlier this year before he got hurt? Mauler. His pass pro was a little suspect at times. I think Ozzie Trapillo actually did a better job of protecting the blind side. But Theo Benedict did an excellent job of working as the point of attack, getting out of space, getting out in space, and creating huge lanes for the running backs on the left side. He's a guy where I feel good. Like if I want to move the line of scrimmage and control this game on the ground, control the trenches from a physicality standpoint, I feel pretty good about having Theo Benedict as my left tackle. Now, if Caleb Williams has to drop back and pass 48 times again, as he did against the Packers, then I feel less good. But if DeAndre Swift and Kyle Monungai, between the two of them, if they're running the ball 30, 35 times, now I feel pretty good about Theo Benedict. So from a physicality standpoint, Joe Thuney, all pro. We're going to get to that later. Drew Dahlman had his iffy moments in pass pro, and he has some iffy moments in the run defense as well in that game against the Packers, but overall has been really good about that combo block, sealing it off early and then getting to that second level. Jonah Jackson, again, when he's healthy, he's been solid. And then Darnell Wright has been really, really good as a mauler. So with Theo Benedict in there, now you're talking about, hey, this is a physical offensive line that can move the line of scrimmage 2 to 3 yards. So Kenneth Davis, if that is your key to victory, I think 79 could be a really good guy to get that done.
Yeah, I like that you say that. It's twofold. You want Caleb to be protected, but Caleb's ability to scramble. Think about it, we really haven't seen Caleb break tackles like he was early in the season lately. Is something wrong, Alex? Am I frozen?
No.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I was on Twitter. I was on Twitter scrolling.
Okay. I'm sorry how your eyes were looking. I was like,
since you've come in, 23 hours ago, the Chicago Bears tweeted out they have activated Braxton Jones for IR. Doesn't mean he's going to start, but he is activated off of IR.
But he has to be activated as an emergency guy anyway.
Exactly. That has more to do with Ozzie Trapillo being done for the year.
Yes, he has to be activated as an emergency guy. I was going to say this. The fact that your quarterback can break tackles innately, damn near it seems like, when it comes to 300-pound, too thin, light body mass, light body fat is what I'm trying to say. 280-pound men yoking him up, and he breaks free like he's oiled to the tees. It is something that is ridiculous. And I like that you said that as far as running the ball. And the flip side too with that is what could also help Theo Benedict is, and we know this is a bread and butter for Ben Johnson, is a lot of times you're going to be going play action off of that. So that kind of helps you, it benefits you a little bit going up against that defensive end when it looks like it's going to be a run play, and then you sit there and it's actually a pass play. Listen, he played well enough this year. You know what I'm saying? I would love if it was Ozzie Trapillo. And the crazy part is we're at this part of the year where actually I would love if Ozzie Trapillo came out of my mouth to let you know that the rookie had a pretty decent year, and more than decent year actually, but we grade hard around here, but a more than decent year. And we've said this ad nauseum for a guy that didn't get a lot of reps, got reps, but not a lot of reps during preseason and training camp and everything in the spring. I just hope he plays well enough. See, this is the problem with it though. What if it turns into the Bears are down and you have to pass the damn ball? Now, of course, and one thing that's good about Ben Johnson, he does not abandon the run, because even when you're down like they were last weekend, you still have to run the ball. You don't want to be – you can get 3 and out real quick by going pass play. You know what I'm saying? Like, you still need to have some thirds and shorts. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So we'll see. Again, I think they have an opportunity to win. We'll definitely tell you what we think. I mean, how many times at the end of the show over the last 8 weeks have we said the Bears are going to lose? Hit.
But here's the thing, getting back to what you're saying about, like, okay, if Caleb does have to throw the ball 50 times, and does that lessen their chances of winning? And how do you cover up Theo Benedict? We've seen Ben Johnson do creative things to help out tackles, to help out blocking, and to honestly do cool things out of the backfield. Something he did a bunch against the Packers could help a lot. A lot of 13 personnel, a lot of 3 tight end sets. So not just Cole Kmet, who has been blocking really well, Colson Loveland, who's been also impressive as a blocker when needed to be, as a rookie tight end, has been impressive in moments, and Durham Smythe, who can definitely get the job done. So not only has he been doing some cool 3 tight end sets, which helps with the blocker. Hey, let's chip. Let's get Theo some help over here on the edge. He's also done some funky stuff out of the I formation that I kind of want to see more of, where he's had like receivers lining up as the quote unquote fullback in the I formation. He's definitely had tight ends lining up as the fullback. We've seen, I think, all 3 guys. I think we've seen Colson Loveland, Cole Kmet, and Durham Smythe in that I formation fullback spot. And what that does is, it helps a blocker, right? If Theo gets hurt or if a blitzer comes, okay, you got a guy there. But then what we've also seen him do is use those guys out of the backfield as if they're going to block, and all of a sudden they're running a wheel route. All of a sudden they're going out to the flat. So things like that, this is how Ben Johnson can also scheme up some ways to help Theo Benedict out. Okay, Theo, you're getting beat by Byron Young all day. All right, Theo, you're getting beat by Jared Verse, because these 2 guys, right? You hear Jared Verse deserves all the praise. Byron Young leads that team in sacks, 12 sacks. I mean, they're coming at you multiple. You want to talk about a team that's got waves? The Rams got guys. That can heat up. That can heat up the pass rush. It ain't just Jared Verse. Byron Young is also a dude to contend with, a serious dude. So if Theo's out there struggling, there are things that Ben Johnson can do. Hey, let's roll out to the right. let's and Caleb can do
half the field.
Caleb can do that though. He's a guy where if you need him to stand in the pocket and deliver some crisp throws, 1, 2, 3, he could do that. If he's got to do a little spin to his left Olay move, He can do that. If you need to run him out to the right and just say, like, we're taking whoever's coming from the left out of the picture, he can do that. And then the formations, the personnel, I do think Ben Johnson has a lot at his disposal. Where is it plan A? I don't know that it's like what they really, 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 really want to do, but they have some stuff in their back pocket. They have some break glass in case of emergency things that they can go to that I believe can help if it's all of a sudden we need Caleb Williams to throw the ball 50 times again.
First of all, Durham Smythe, that's a badass name. Like Smythe is already something, but Durham, you name your son Durham, you got to give props for that. There was something you said. Oh, this is what I was going to say. And again, not any of the jet sweepish or tosses. The tosses by outside towards the tackle, Ben, I don't want to see none of that. Right? I don't want to see that. And you can hold some of the sweeps. But now it's time for the razzle dazzle, baby. It's time to dig in that bag. Now we got 3 games left, right? It's time to. You never seen this before. Quarter out of the back from behind the ear. Like it's time for everything. Taking the different colored handkerchiefs from under your sleeve.
Under the sleeve. Wrap it out of the hat.
I was about to say wrap it out of the hat. All the tricks now. But listen, they can worry about this next year, what we going to come up with. But like right now, it's time for the trickery. Like it's like right, you got 3 games. And that's so cool. And we'll continue. We're going to get on the defensive side. But man, we are here, Bears fans, at this part of the year that nobody and their mama, except the most crazy Bears fan, actually thought that we can get here. Like that fan that always thinks they're going to the Super Bowl. I mean, really thinks they're going to the Super Bowl.
The guy who's bought the over ticket for the past 5 years.
Keeps Vegas floating, right? Keeps Vegas floating. Man, as Bears fans, I mean, the way the city is so engaged, going to work and talking to the people that chose the pack. It's nothing. You know what's one of the best parts of life in sports? And I know because I'm not a heavy gambler. So if people be like, yeah, when I'm gambling and I win, that's what I love, right? I get it. I understand. But when somebody tells you that your team is going to lose, and you don't just think your team is going to win because it's your team, you're like, logically, no, looking at this, Michael Parsons is out. They almost beat them with Michael Parsons, even though Michael Parsons got hurt that game. So that lets you again know Michael Parsons' importance of what could have been. But Michael Parsons is out. They should probably win, right? And trying to be logical and talk to people that are saying the Packers. All of them weren't Packers fans. Some of them were just football fans. It was like, I don't know if they're going to be able to beat them. I'm like, I think they're going to pull it off. And you're watching the game thinking, man, I got to see that person in whatever number of days you got to see them. And they're going to be riding me. And if you're a good sports fan, you just got to take it. Like I hate people that, exactly. Oh no, just take it or whatever.
If you're gonna dish, you got to take
that part right there. And one of my coworkers, she was like, "They got lucky in the 4th. They've been doing that all year." That's why I told you they were going to win.
At what point is it not luck, though? That's the other thing. At what point is it not luck? When you've done it 10 times, is it actually lucky?
No, that's what you do, right? And listen, this is something we talked about, Alex. Now you can't go and do that all in next year, right? Or at some point, you end up being a team that falls off and you're never going to reach your potential because you never learned how to win from the first quarter to the third quarter, right? Like at some point, you do have to be a team that doesn't put all that pressure on yourself at the end of the game, right? Like you do, right? But right now, you don't because you're learning and you're growing. And to walk into work and be like, right? Oh man, and blessed be the Bears for giving me that ability to do that, and just for everybody, and it's great. But anything offensively you want to go over again before we switch to defense? Defense, Alex.
Let's talk defense, my dude.
Okay, I got it's not even an APB. I got a bulletin out for a young man who has been doing the business. We just need you to do this 3 more games. All right, Austin. Keep that up. All right. This is where legends are made, right?
Yeah.
You can be a bust And we will be talking for the next 2 years, waiting for you to reclaim what you did the latter half of this season. We'd be like, man, Austin could turn it on again.
People are still talking about the Kyle Schwarber statue.
Dude, come on, right? And man, the one that got away. Some Chicago team should have signed him. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
Somebody should have signed his ass, right?
Yeah.
But still, I mean, if Austin Booker can keep doing what he's doing. And another thing, too, about time of possession, man, y'all can't leave that defense out there like y'all did at the end of that game. And they were burnt. Because I'll say this, we've criticized this defensive line a lot. They were busting their ass that last game, particularly 100%. At the end of that game. Right. 100%. But they got, and I'm not saying in a negative, they got gassed. They got gassed.
Well, you also think like Andrew Billings got hurt early in that game. You've lost an important part of that rotation. So now you got Grady Jarrett and Jervon Dexter like really
going at it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Zach Pickens, we need you. I'm joking. But yeah, so if that defensive line plays similar to what it did last week over all 4 quarters, if Dennis Allen adjustments take place earlier, even if they have to happen at halftime, fine. But like, man, if the defense can just slow them down, man, this could be a beautiful thing. Seriously, this could be that you have your defensive backs are really situational right now. They're not game covering guys. They're guys that can pop. And I'm talking about your hurt guys and your star highest paid guys in Jalen Johnson and Kyler Gordon. But maybe another week, maybe they're a little bit healthier than they were. Tyreek Stevenson has to be on deck just in case this week anybody goes down, and you're going to need healthier, younger guys out there to try to keep up with these guys. Because both of them are crafty receivers, but Devontae Adams is one of the craftiest route runners in the NFL. Puka Nacua is just a beast. Like,
yeah, he's good.
I don't even understand. I mean, he's helped me in the past in fantasy, but Puka Nacua is so good that he kicked their own favorite wide receiver off the team. Basically, it was like, we got a guy. You got to go, right? I heard maybe in Seattle or something, but you got to get up out here, Cooper Kupp, right? Running game, man, that running game is something. But the Bears have been a team where they've been situational with the run. They haven't been great with the run. Sometimes they've been giving up. They've been gashed a lot. And the fact that Andrew Billings was injured, man, that could be a problem when it comes to stopping an offense that has a great passing game, but also has a really dependable running game. It'd be interesting to see what Dennis Allen does to cover up for Billings not being available. How hurt is Andrew Billings? Do we know?
Let me Google that for you,
please, because I mean, if is he totally out? But I mean, that will be I would definitely want to know that, because not having that basically nose tackle there could be a huge issue of getting blown off the damn ball during the run game. But man, that's another thing. Like, the Bears were really good with depth this year, but that's another place you're going to have to add depth. And we kind of talked about Andrew Billings kind of getting older. We all get old. It's not a knock on him. I think he was undervalued when the Bears initially brought him in. But that's you got to look for somebody to compensate if you keep him and take the job, and maybe have him as a back end, a rotational guy.
Not finding much on Andrew Billings injury updates.
Okay.
Yeah, he suffered a hip injury.
But nothing as far as if he's out or anything like that.
No, I don't think there's I don't think there's anything latest. As we're recording this, there's no injury report yet from the Bears. So you might be listening to this, and you might be saying, "Oh, there is Andrew Billings news. How did you miss this? The Bears tweeted it out themselves." As we are recording this right now, there's no Bears injury report out just yet, so we don't know if Andrew Billings is limited, if he did not participate, or if he's a full participant. But he exited with that hip injury. He did not return to that football game, obviously. So yeah, we don't know. The Bears may be without Big Bill. Maybe they'll get him back. When we're recording this right now, it's a mystery.
Okay, officially questionable to. Oh, that's just again, like you said, that's
That's the
just
game.
from the game. You're right.
Yeah. So here's the other thing. Just like we said, hey, Devontae Adams with 1 extra week to get a little bit healthy, with 1 week to shake off the rust. I do wonder if we see that with Kyler Gordon, because Kyler Gordon did not play for the majority of that first half. It seemed like he was a break glass in case of emergency type player just because he wasn't starting. It was Nick McLeod starting, and then they went to the guy they called up off the practice squad at Sam before we saw Kyler Gordon. And there were moments where Kyler Gordon was shaky against the Packers. But then to me, it looked like when he got his legs under him a little bit, he started to make some plays. Was he getting challenged and was he getting beaten sometimes? Absolutely. But he also was in there mixing it up, and it seemed like he got a little bit better as that game went on. I wonder if getting those game reps last week will help him be better this week, because you got to imagine the Bears are going to turn to him again, right? The Bears turned away from Nick McLeod for a reason. So you got to imagine that Kyler Gordon should be a part of their plans again this week. And from a Bears perspective, you just have to hope that half a game of those live bullets hitting, running, really playing it, because you can't replicate game stuff for real, right? Practice is practice. Going live in practice helps, but there's nothing like playing the game. So, I think it would help the Bears defense a lot if Kyler Gordon maybe takes a step up. If Kyler Gordon can notch up his play in the middle and play closer to the Kyler Gordon we're used to seeing, one of the best nickels, especially near the line of scrimmage, a great nickel in the blitz, that could be huge. Also, CJ Gardner-Johnson, if he is back from his concussion, if he gets cleared, if CJ Gardner-Johnson gets cleared from his concussion, that helps a lot too, because now you've got your top 2 guys back instead of relying on your third guy, Nick McLeod. So there are some reasons to be optimistic about the Bears in the middle and how it can help. I already went over to Marco Jackson. Dude's super fast. He triggers super fast. Maybe the Bears can take advantage of that aggressiveness, take advantage of his speed to slow down that Rams running attack, to keep up with guys in the middle of the field. He played really, really well in the middle of the season when Tremaine Edmonds and Noah Sewell and TJ Edwards, when all 3 of those guys were out, and we were like, what are the Bears going to do? They don't have any linebackers. DeMarco Jackson played well. So that game experience, I think, should help him. It's not all woe is me with the Bears in their secondary. And you know what? The Rams got issues in their secondary as well. The Rams got issues in their secondary where if the Bears can slow down Jared Verse, if the Bears can work their way around Byron Young and take some shots downfield, and the Bears have taken plenty of shots downfield. They've been super explosive. I feel like for all the opportunities the Rams offense will have, the Bears offense should also have those opportunities. It could really be a shootout again, man. It could be a shootout again.
Oh yeah, there's no question in that. But the great part is that we actually got a pistol. All right, we act like back in the days we was throwing rocks.
Right, they were bringing rocks to the gunfight. Now they got a gun in the gunfight.
Like, man, like we actually, dog, we got yappas. There are things in the back here. Dracos are on deck and ready to be used. Where in the past we were slingshotting it up. We were David in this piece, and it is time, right? So that's one thing. I mean, even from a shootout where our gun is jammed for 3 quarters. It won't work. Like, I don't know if you ever seen Transformers the movie. I know that may be a little bit old for you.
The first one?
Yeah.
Yes, I've seen Transformers.
So do you remember where Omega Supreme was trying to open up the Matrix, and he was like, "Open, damn you!" And the sweeps were coming, and they killed him. Oh no, I'm talking about the cartoon. You're talking about the live action one.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I love the cartoon. Like the TV show. Was there a cartoon movie?
Yes, there was a cartoon movie.
So
Optimus
really, my
Prime
bread and butter.
died. Optimus Prime got killed in the cartoon movie. So then
No.
see, real quick, and we'll get back to Bears football. They wanted to come out with new toys because people had bought all the toys. So they were like, basically, get rid of those. And they came out with this character. His name was Hot Rod, and he turned to Rodimus Prime. It was trash. But they had to bring, it was nothing like a school day finding out Optimus Prime is alive, right? But like you cry. It was like Optimus gets out. I'm sorry for ruining this. Just to let you know,
spoiler warning on the old animated Transformers.
The Decepticons are attacking the Autobots, and Optimus Prime is like Stone Cold Steve Austin. He's beating everyone's ass going to the ring to get to him and Megatron having a fight, and he beats Megatron, but they both are fatally wounded in the battle. Yeah, so that's it. That's enough of the Transformers.
I hate Decepticons. I hate Decepticons.
And so does New York 80s gang members back in the days.
I do have one thing. My bread and butter, specifically for me, and this is going to age me a little bit, Beast Wars, dude.
Really?
I was a Transformers Beast Wars. That was my
bread and butter. I was in the streets when Beast Wars was a beast. A little bit, but I was outside. Like, not enough time for cartoons back in around that time with Beast Wars.
Shout out Transformers Beast Wars. Maybe the best television show of all time. That's at least how I remember it. I remember it as the best television show of all time. But anyways, back to the Bears. Who's going to be the Beast Wars? Who's going to be Optimus Prime for the Chicago Bears offense? How do we even get talking about Transformers?
Oh, you know who Optimus Prime? Well, okay. I would say this. Optimus Prime would have to be. You want to say Caleb, but it's not Caleb. It would have to be because Caleb is still too young and too immature in some ways. Like he's like I'm trying to think who was a young Autobot that was like always like kind of into it or whatever. Joe Thuney is probably Optimus Prime on the offense.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? Like this the wild vet that sets the course and comes through or whatever.
Been there, done that. I got the rings.
Yeah. It's not an apples to apples comparison. Caleb is like Grimlock, like me. Let me take over this job. I'm the best out here. I lead the Autobots. Or I'm trying to think, or it would be Hot Rod, even though we didn't get a lot of Hot Rod. And again, enough of the Transformers comparison. Any other thoughts on the defense, Alex?
No, the Bears got to find their Optimus Prime. They need or do they need their Starscream?
That's a good one. We don't, you know who Starscream? No, we don't have a Starscream was kind of a B word. I mean, I liked him because he was such like that. He was the character was such the character, but he whined a tad bit too much. Okay. And I don't think we have. I don't
remember. This is a long time ago. I don't really remember the ins and outs of all these guys. To be
I shall lead Megatron. I'm in charge. So anyway, you wanted to go over the All Pros. But we didn't get to go over because of the Packers game. So go right ahead, Alex.
Yeah, we didn't talk about it because that game was just too crazy. But shout out to 3 Bears All Pros, first team All Pros. Megatron, Joe Thuney, Optimus Prime. I'm sorry, we called him Optimus Prime, aka Joe Thuney. Kevin Byard, first team All Pro for his phenomenal season, second team All Pro Darnell Wright, who has now officially realized the potential. When the Bears drafted Darnell Wright, the talk was, hey, upside is this guy is an All Pro right tackle, and now he's an All Pro right tackle. And shout out Ryan Poles. Ryan Poles has drafted an All-Pro. All 3 of those guys very deserving. And I think it's great that these 3 guys are All-Pro because it's like, okay, here's the guy we brought in to shore this up. We brought in Joe Thuney because he can be an All-Pro, because he is Optimus Prime, because he has won the championships with the 2 greatest franchises of the last 30 years with the Patriots and with the Chiefs. All-Pro. Darnell Wright. We passed up Jalen Carter because you can be an All-Pro right tackle. We passed up Jalen Carter because we got to protect our next quarterback, and you are extremely important. Congratulations, you're an All-Pro. So I think it is It's obviously great for these players who had great seasons, but I think it's almost like a proof of concept also for what Ryan Poles did with this line. And then Kevin Byard is just Kevin Byard. You brought Kevin Byard in to be Kevin Byard, and Kevin Byard was Kevin Byard. So
his best season as a Bear.
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. So great free agent signing.
Yeah. My only problem, again, it's not a problem. Congratulations to all of them. Is the people that are like, oh yeah, they definitely should have drafted Darnell Wright over Jalen Carter. Like Darnell Wright's been playing like this since he's been in the NFL. You know who's been playing like that since they've been in the NFL? Jalen Carter.
Sure.
All right. Like that's, but it's not you, Alex. This is not a you thing. It's just sometimes, and like because we've had this debate and people know, people want to say to me like, yes, and it's just like, listen, you can say you prefer something, but when you're talking about what they've done on the field, the entirety of their careers, Jalen Carter has fulfilled what he was supposed to do since he entered into the NFL. Is he an ass? Yes. That I will not argue with you about that, right? But this isn't about who's an ass. It's about what do you do on the field. And he has been a phenomenal, one of the better DTs in the NFL, basically since he's entered the league. This is the first year Darnell Wright has been one of the better right tackles in the NFL. That's just the truth. You can
I agree.
This isn't, again, has nothing to do with you. This is like the streets. All right. This is for real. It has nothing to do with you. But just people like to sit there and try to pull a fast one, and the fast ones are never going to be pulled. Stop playing. That's all I had to say.
I meant it in the case of like it lessens the sting of.
Yes, it does.
Right. It's like okay, at least the guy that we chose is also an all.
Right. No. Yeah. No. Like, again, this is nothing to do with you. Right. But I've a couple of times, and it's just like, again, you can say, look, I just wanted them to do that, and that'll be fine. But to negate what Jalen Carter has done since entering the NFL is being not honest. All right, untruthful, I guess is the word that I'm looking for.
Jalen Carter has been very good at football.
Yeah, he's been an ass.
Very good. He did. He has been kicked out of games. We have seen it. He has had his ups and his downs, but he has been good, and he has won a Super Bowl. He is a Super Bowl.
And been one of the main reasons that his team is where they're at consistently.
Yes.
What are you looking
He had a sack in – I'm just looking at his playoff numbers. He's been really good. He's really good.
Yes. He's a phenomenal athlete. All right. We'll be back after the game, maybe a little later because I have to catch up since I will be at work for part of that game. But we'll be back after the game to chat and about everything good about what the Bears did on the lakefront to the Rams. Weather is going to kind of be a little up and down the next day or two. Did you see that blizzard that we had this morning?
Did I see it? I drove through it.
Oh, man. Yeah, man. The meteorologist didn't give us the heads up on that one. Right. I was like, there's a blizzard outside. I'm like, what? I guess there is, right? But so we'll be back. Be safe. And as always, we appreciate you taking a little time to join us here on the Windy City Podcast.